Welcome back. This is Janice Dixon. I am a novelist based out of Houston, Texas, and this is the second weekend of Weekend with Janice. Now, I put out the call in my newsletter for questions. I haven't seen anything come through, and that's how all these things turn out, right? We want to know, but we don't want to know. So what I've decided to do is to continue. And today I'll be reading an excerpt from Yuki's Luck. And so if you did not join me last week for the month of March, I've selected two books that I'd love to read along with you from my catalog. The first is Yuki's Luck, which now is available on Amazon. It's available in Nook, Apple Books, and on Kobo. Look, spirit fingers. And also Privileged Love, and that is available on Amazon and in Kindle Unlimited. So you can get both of them, purchase them, add them to your device, and read along with me and ask me any questions that you have over this month. I kind of figured to keep this going that what I could do is also do some updates before I get to the reading. So what do we have going on in Janice's world? This month, the holiday that we had was St. Patrick's Day. And so that is one of the reasons why I selected these two reads. Both of them kind of kick off around St. Patrick's Day, even though it's not necessarily about the holiday. And so that's why I selected those. The next book that is coming up on the radar is Play to Win, which is a novel. And I'll be telling you all more about that probably next week. What else? Pretty much that's it. I'm just writing. writing. Trying to do my best to stay focused during these times. And I'm not going to go into it. I feel like it's everywhere. And this is March 2020. So I can say that. And if later down the line someone is watching this video, I'm certain they're gonna know what's going on in the world at this time. But I think it's a wonderful time to dive into a great book. And so I am reading and I am writing and I'm making the most of this time. So with that said, I am going to read the excerpt and dive into it. One of the things that I've said, and so I'll add it here, Yuki's Luck was inspired a little bit by a YouTube video that I saw. I have no idea how I found it, and now I wish I would have saved it, but I was just clicking around and saw this blog and I was just so startled by it. And usually what happens for me is like a what if question kind of comes to my mind. Or if it's not a what if question, it's a question of how it must feel to be one of the people in that scenario. So in this case, it was a African-American woman or a black woman, and it was a man that was of an Asian ethnicity, and I believe it was Korean, but I didn't save the video, so I believe. And so in this video they were having tension between his family and her, and they're not accepting her because she was a black woman. And this video was made in like 2017, 2018, something like that. So it was, to my time now, and it was recent. And I was so shocked. I don't know why I was so shocked, but there were some different scenarios that were played out in the video that made me shocked that someone would behave like that to another person. And even with of my age and of my life experiences, experiencing a lot as a Black woman, that was still very jarring to me, and it still is now. And so my question was not in this case to the two of them. My question was, what if a child came from that union? And how would that child's life differ or change or be affected by, in essence, racism for something that the child has no part in? And that just sat with me for a long time. And in this case, it probably sat with me probably about a year, and I just couldn't get the thought out of my head. So when I decided to I was going to do something about it, I thought about it from the perspective of a potential child coming out of a union like that, where one person culturally, their family is against the relationship. And it really, in that case, I think part of it was because she was a Black woman, but I think the majority of it was because she was not of his ethnicity. So if he was Korean, it was because she was not also Korean. And I remember in the video, it just broke my heart, because the woman was trying so hard to do the things that would have been pleasing in that culture to his family, and they didn't. They weren't receptive, and so that's kind of what caused Yuki's luck to come about. Because I write romance, of course we want the happily ever after, and I'm not certain about that particular couple, but I had to think about, of course we want the happily ever after. That's the type of romance I write, and also the question of how would that prejudice or racism affect this person. And in this case, what I did is that is how I came up with Yuki. Yuki means luck in Korean. I should have looked this up before we did this. Let's see, because I'm at my computer. When I looked it up, Yuki meant luck and some other things if you look at it in a sense of a Japanese descent. So I kind of did a play on that, just with Yuki's luck. And essentially Yuki in this book is of mixed race, Japanese and Black. And she is raised by a Black woman, and you find out more as the story goes on, and essentially she's adopted. So I'm not going to tell you all of that because I don't want to, in this, I don't want to give away the story. But the point of all of this is to say that's how I got here. And originally, this was, when I wrote it, I wanted to do it from the perspective of siblings. That's why it was called, the series was called the Smith Pack Duo. Yuki Smith and Asher Smith. And they called themselves twins because they were born around the same time, same father, different mothers. And some people, it's like, how are they twins? And I'm going to tell y'all, I have no other way to describe it, but growing up, we called them hood twins, right? When you had the same father, different mothers, and you were born around the same time. If you were from the 60s or 70s, it was like when Papa was a Rolling Stone, that type of environment. But they were raised together in the same household by Asher's mother. And so that's kind of, from the seed of that video, it kind of grew into this family, and how this family was affected by their father and Mama Smith's husband. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to read the first chapter, definitely at any time in the comment section, you can leave me a question. And I'm really thinking about, I'll read more, but for today, it'll be chapter 1. Again, if you have not done so already, visit me online at JaniceDixon.com. That's JANESEDIXON.com. You can purchase Yuki's Luck on Amazon, Kobo, Nook, Apple Books. I think that's everybody. If it is not, you can go to my website and find all the links there. And we're going to get to reading. I will give the disclaimer because I don't know how else to do it, that some of this may be adult content. This particular chapter does not, but it does, okay? Because I write steamy romance. So here we go. Here we go. I'm going to be reading from my computer, so I won't be looking at you. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up if you're enjoying it. Ask any questions. Subscribe to my newsletter. I'm going to say all that stuff because, y'all, it's important. I need you to make this happen. You might see my family go by because it is a Saturday. Oh, and I just blocked my reading. Here we go. This is chapter 1 in Yuki's Luck. Put up your mugs. I reach for the heavy crystal tankard mug, extending it across the table towards my twin brother, Asher Smith, careful not to let my eyes slide to his left. He had sent a cryptic text message. It's on. Meet me at the spot in an hour. I finalized the email I was typing, told my assistant to forward my calls to my cell phone, and now here I am in a bar at 3 in the afternoon with Asher, his wife Jazz, short for Jasmine, and his best friend and business partner, Dylan Jamison, the one I'm avoiding in public. It's complicated. What are we celebrating? And hurry, because I'm hungry, I ask as my heart warms. Pride does not start to explain the feelings tumbling in my chest. The smile on his face tells me it's good, really good. But I still use this moment to give him a hard time. I mean, isn't that what sisters are for? Patience is a virtue, Asher says over his glass. Bite me, kid brother. I kick him. That'll wipe that smug look off his face. Ouch! And you're wearing those god-awful pointy heels. The gang laughs. I lift my legs to avoid the sweeping motion of his foot as he tries to return my sisterly love tap. Children, children, Dylan chimes in. Stop teasing. Get to it. I have plans. And I break my rule as my eyes meet his. Always the mediator, with his strawberry blonde hair, piercing blue eyes, and his wicked smile. He winks, and my heart skips a beat. Everything about him reads off limits. But like a child fascinated by the fire, I reach for the flames, praying I don't get burned. This is not my smartest move. The waiter returns with our standard order of spicy wings, seasoned fries, and Dylan's insisted upon house salad. And we're still waiting on the reason for this gathering in the middle of the day. Jazz lowers her mug and places her elbows on the table. She turns to Dylan. It must be a woman for you to pass on wings and beer? And the salad, he adds. We all know ain't nobody touching that tired salad but you. Who goes to a sports bar for salad? Asher looks thoroughly confused. Asher, focus. I cut through their banter. What happened to the toast? Y'all are the worst. I reach for a wing and Jazz, my hopeless romantic sister-in-law, smacks my hand and the slippery chicken tumbles to the table. Ouch! That's for kicking my husband. She winks and has the nerve to laugh. Thanks, babe. Asher leans over the table and kisses her, dismissing the raised mugs in the air, our food getting cold, and the ticking clock. Get a room. Make the toast already, 'cause this mug is heavy. I retrieve my wing, praying the 5-second rule still applies. Dylan drops his head, chuckling. Okay. We closed on a space for Smith and Jameson. What? I spring to my feet, and my wing flies across the room. Sorry, I say to no one in particular as I round the table, pulling Asher into a hug. I knew it. I knew you would get it. Asher and Dylan were finding it difficult to secure a location for their international beer garden and eatery. They wanted a space near downtown, but roomy enough for at least 6 truck vendors to park and offer food. But finding adequate space stalled their brilliant plan. Your call did it, Asher said. I pull back, placing my hands on his cheeks. No, your business plan did it. I'm just doing my part. My good luck charm, he whispers under his breath for only us to hear. I hate when he calls me that, and he knows it. Don't give me that look, he holds up a finger. Let me have this moment, please. Okay, I reluctantly agree. Thank you. He kisses my cheek. The joy dancing in his eyes is infectious. I feel a silly grin matching his spread across my face. You're welcome. I go back to my seat. We lift our mugs with more vigor this time. From struggling to this. I'm vice president at Brandshare and up for a major promotion to partner. He's independently wealthy from his business ventures, and he's on course to build a legacy with the Smith name on it. I look over at Asher, certain it will only get better. In the words of William Shakespeare, it is not in the stars to hold our destiny, but in ourselves. My destiny is connected to each of you. I'm a blessed man. He smiles at Jazz as she brushes away a tear. This toast is to my beautiful wife, talented and uber wealthy best friend, and my twin. And Mama, I add. Don't forget Mama. Never. Asher's head drops for a brief second, and when he looks up again, his eyes are glistening with unshed tears. I will not fail with odds stacked so perfectly in my favor. We have a prime location in downtown Austin, the vendors, 49 of 50 craft breweries on board, and in 3 days, we're off to Ireland to secure a deal with one final brewery. Dylan places a hand on Asher's shoulder. Man, we got this. Asher nods. Let's toast to Smith and Jameson Beer Garden. That we get the final contract with Imposed Brew and we open our doors to the public by the summer. To Smith and Jameson. We repeat as our mugs chime, reflecting the excitement swirling around our table. I tap Asher's glass, then Jazz, then Dylan, and our eyes hold longer than they should. I'm frozen. The sounds in the bar and of Asher and Jazz talking cease to exist. He mouths, "Don't be late." I look back and forth to ensure no one saw it but me. He smiles, and I find the strength to pull from his vortex. We pass the time drinking beer, eating wings, and Dylan steps away to take a call, and Jazz heads to the ladies' room. When will Brandshare make their partnership decision? Asher asks. Soon. They usually announce it by now. I don't know what the holdup is. I lick the spicy sauce from my fingers. I push around the contents on the messy table, searching for the little wet towelettes. I inked a deal for $5 million yesterday. I'm just hoping that's enough. That should guarantee your offer. He finishes off the fries, passing me a napkin. I hope so. Brandshare is a boutique marketing firm I joined after graduate school. My department specializes in subscription boxes. I pair companies with products as a means of expanding their presence in the marketplace and increasing their brand recognition. My clients range from high-end cosmetic companies to custom chocolatiers. I'm on track to make partner by my 27th birthday, less than 2 weeks away. Waiting for them to announce it is killing me. Then it hits me. What if? Don't worry. They're slow, not stupid. Brother, you are totally biased. I smile, appreciating his unwavering confidence in me. Damn right. Join Smith and Jameson. We can use that marketing brain of yours. He leans forward and I shake my head. That's not an option. One Smith is more than enough to secure the legacy. Besides, I have a job. I try to sound nonchalant about it. Sure, it has become more of a grind than a passion. Becoming a partner would give me more control of the clients I work with and inject some excitement back into my career. It's not only about our legacy. This is our family business. His knowing eyes scan my face and I glance away. Is that the only reason you won't accept my offer? The beer garden is their business. And the rest of his statement sounds like the Charlie Brown teacher in my head as I see him. You two think y'all have us fooled. I hear through the haze. We all know you guys are attracted to each other. Asher motions across the room towards Dylan talking with another woman. Just get together already and save us the awkward tension. There's no together for me. And what tension? I roll my eyes over this conversation. Brand share, you, mama, that's more than enough for me. Being alone sucks, Asher states. I'm not alone. I have you. Big sis, I pray you find a man worthy of how precious you are. His eyes pierced through my facade and hit his intended target, my fragile heart. Yeah, right. I'm the ball buster, right? I laugh. His grimace says he's not buying it. My hands are full. Partnership, your spot, and who knows, I might finally take up a hobby. I look over again. Dylan is retrieving his phone from a gorgeous petite blonde. He drops it in his pocket. Player. I need to get out of here. I find the wet wipes and clean the remaining sauce from my hands as Jazz returns. Her face is tense. I turn a questioning gaze to Asher. His face clearly reads, "Don't ask." I'm out. I want to stop by the office before heading home. I toss the dirty wipe on my plate, grabbing my purse from the back of my chair. Congratulations again. Babe, I'll be back. Asher stands as I do. Stay here, I'm fine. I motion for him to sit. My car is right across the street. I'm walking Yuki to her car. He talks over me, kissing Jazz's cheek. Then he places a hand on my lower back, guiding me to the front door. Good night, Jazz. I'll call over my shoulder. See you Sunday. Call me, I mouth. She nods. I send her air kisses. Love you. The sports bar is near capacity, which isn't a surprise since they have Friday night half-off happy hour. I maneuver around people, tables, and chairs, finally reaching the exit. What's that all about? We're in a rough patch. I hope getting this trip behind us will relieve some of the stress and get us back to honeymooning. He opens the door and I step out into the chilly evening. Is there anything I can do? Nah. You've done more than enough. I predict. Stopping next to my car, I turn with a smile. We've played this game since we were kids, and now my very grown, very handsome brother is once again predicting our future. Oh, brother. I roll my eyes. You do recall that you get it wrong 100% of the time, but I appreciate your tenacity. I pinch his cheeks. Such a hater. He flicks his hand in my direction like he's shooing away a fly. He chuckles, shoving a hand in his pocket. Then he pulls me against him with the other. Together we lean against my car as if our destiny is written in the Austin skyline. Did you ever think we'd be here? He asks, so low I almost miss it. Like physically? against my car in a parking lot? The sun is dropping and the breeze is perfect. Are you charging for these terrible jokes? Because you are laying it on heavy tonight. I dig my elbow into his side. He folds over laughing. No, smarty pants, our lives. Never. Do you think it'll get better? I rest my head on his shoulder, his head resting on top of mine. I know it will. Then tell me, oh wise one, what do you predict? I trust very few people in my life, and this man is one of them. If he says the sky will be purple in the morning, I would bank on it. Only one other person comes close, and that's Dylan Jameson. The sound of chatter rings through the air as if the bar door was opened and closed. I glance toward the door, and there's Dylan. He taps the face of his watch and disappears. I wonder if Asher noticed, but he continues. This time, 2 weeks from today, our lives will change for the better. You will be 27. You will be the first female partner at Brandshare. Smith and Jameson will secure the contract with Imposed Brew, and my marriage, his voice drops, will resume the honeymoon. I finish for him, placing my hand on his chest. I kiss his cheek, disarming my car doors. It'll work out. You'll see. He glances down into my eyes, and a faint smile crosses his face. I squeeze his arm and lower inside my car. When are you telling Mama? Let's do it in the morning. Meet me over there. We'll go to breakfast. Cool. I'll see you there around 9. Love you. I sit in my car staring at Asher's retreating back. Images of Dylan chatting with the blonde hanging on his every word. What am I doing? Comparing myself to the blonde? No. Maybe. Flipping down my visor, I touch up my lipstick and my mother's face stares back. I slap it closed and try to scrub my thoughts clear of that comparison to her. I pull the visor open again. Yuki, you control your destiny. You are a partner. No more secret meetings with Dylan. No more comparing yourself to petite blondes. No more Dylan. I said that already. I close the visor and rest my head on the steering wheel. I guess it can't hurt to say it a few more times. No more Dylan. No more Dylan. No more Dylan. So there we go. I hope that you've enjoyed this and that you will keep reading Yuki's Luck. You know, this one thing about this particular story, and this will be the close of today's video, is really at the heart of it. It's about how the things in the past can affect how we see ourselves, and how that can sometimes block us from our greatest blessing or our greatest opportunities when we kind of talk ourselves out of stuff. And so I hope that you decide to continue on this journey. I will see you guys next weekend for Weekend with Janice. Don't forget to pick you up a copy of Yuki's Luck and or I want to get both of them, y'all. Privileged Love, which are both available right now. And when you read it, please take the time to leave a quick review. Reviews are like currency to authors, and so they're helpful with us spreading the word about our work. I will see you guys next week. Take care and happy reading. Goodbye.